This is the Athlon Dell. In the last video we saw the sheer amount of power that this computer can kick out. But what's this, you may ask? Well, this is the Dimension E520, the Intel variant of this Athlon Dell. So, as you may be able to guess, yes, we're going to be putting these two machines to the test to see which one is the better one. Intel versus AMD. This is the true 2006 showdown. For those who are not familiar with the Athlon Dell, go check out the video in the upper right hand corner. But essentially it's a Dell Dimension E521 running an AMD Athlon X264 4400 Plus, 4GB of DDR2 RAM, a GTX 460 and a 1TB hard drive. And obviously this is our new machine, the Dimension E520 running a Core 2 Duo E4300 clocked at 1.86 GHz. In short, what I'm going to do is put all the same components into the Intel Dell and seeing which machine comes out on top.
I don't have to wait, but sometimes it seems that he's got too much on.
It's benchmarking time, and it's finally time to see who wins in this 2006 showdown, Intel or AMD. As a reminder, both machines during benchmarking had entirely the same specs, the same GTX 460, same 4GB of RAM, same hard drive and power supply. What's different is the Core 2 Duo and the Athlon. So, without further ado, let's get straight into it. In BeamNG, we can see that there isn't any improvement overall, but in fairness, this game is very taxing on older hardware due to all the physics involved. In Gary's mod, we definitely see an improvement in our frames per second on average, and overall the game did feel that bit smoother. Still not quite high enough, but it was certainly more playable than the Athlon. Just Cause 2 performance definitely increased, bringing us from that 20 FPS mark into the 30 to 40 FPS on average. Definitely a much better experience, and I enjoyed playing this. Spintire's MudRunner presents itself as an example of a well-optimised game. Our average FPS was the same across the board, between the two different platforms, with a playable 34 FPS. While Fallout 4 appeared to perform better on paper, the experience still just wasn't smooth enough, with a lot of freezing and input lag. Not great at all. GTA Vice City ran about the same, but it is hard to tell if there would have been any difference, due to the locked 30Hz frame rate the game has. But overall, it did actually feel quite a bit smoother than the Athlon. Euro Truck ran flawlessly, and it is once again an example of an excellently optimised game, pulling us an average of 49 FPS, about on par with what the Athlon pulled off. And to finish us off, Minecraft, which was the killer of the Athlon. And although I want to say that the Core 2 Duo pulled ahead, it only really pulled ahead in the late game, and there was a lot of stuttering in game when walking around, and this is shown in the clip. So in conclusion, who is the true winner? I think the Core 2 Duo pulled ahead in a lot of games, offering us that 10 to 20 frame per second difference, which is definitely essential to games. While I knew the Athlon was definitely underpowered, I certainly wasn't expecting it to be beaten by a 1.8 GHz Core 2 Duo. But I guess that's the problem that AMD had back in the day. Compared to its competition, it just wasn't powerful enough. But it's nice to see, in the modern era of Ryzen, that AMD is making a comeback.